Good day viewers, welcome to CNN Philippines. Now I'll be sharing to you some information about the United Nations and contemporary world governance. International organization refers to the international and intergovernmental organization that are primarily made up of members of states. The power of classification is the ability to classify objects, invent, shift, and their very definition of identity. The power of fixed meaning, state organizations and individuals view IOS as a legitimate source of information. As such, the meaning that create effects on various policies, like the definition of security as not safety from military violence, but safety from environmental, economic, and political harm. The power of diffuse norm. IO experience a third of power by spreading, enforcing global values and norms. They desire to shape state practices by enforcing, establishing, articulating, and transmitting norms that define thus constitute acceptable and legitimate state behavior. They are missionaries of our time. There are 5 organs of United Nations. First is the General Assembly, the Security Council, the Economic and Social Council, the International Court of Justice, and the Secretariat. General Assembly, it is the main deliberate organ of United Nations, comprised of all members of the states, currently at 199. It makes decision of international peace and security, admitting new members of states and United Nations, decided at 2/3 majority. The Security Council has primary responsibility under the United Nations Charter to maintain international peace and security. They determine threats to peace or acts, aggressions, unresolved through peaceful or forceful means. Economic and Social Council. It is the United Nations principal body of coordinating policy review, policy dialogue, and recommendations on social environmental issues, as well as the implementations of international agreed development goals. Currently, it is the United Nations central platform for discussion on suitable development. The Council has 54 members, are chosen for equal geographical representation, and serve as 3-year term. International Court of Justice. It is the United Nations main judicial organ. It is tasked to settle legal disputes in between nations and not between individuals. In accordance with international law, legal disputes are submitted to by states and to give advisory opinions referred to it by authorized United Nations organs and specialized teams. The Secretariat or the Secretary is made up of 10,000 of international staff members working at the United Nations headquarters. They are responsible for serving the other organs of the United Nations and administering programs and policies. Laid down by the Secretary is headed by the Secretary General, who is appointed by the General Assembly. State regionalism is an international organization in the region whose members are presented by the state, while the non-state regionalism is an international organization in the region whose members or people are not directly connected to the states. North Atlantic Treaty is an example of state regionalism, which was established during the Cold War for military protection purposes. It is a security alliance of 30 countries from North America and Europe. It is to safeguard the allies of freedom and security by political military means. Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries is an example of state regionalism, which was established by oil exporting countries to protect the resources. The mission of this organization is to coordinate and unify the petroleum policies of its members countries and ensure the stabilization of oil. Non-ally movement is another state regionalism, which was established by countries who don't want to be part of major political groups. Its objective is to keep newly independent nations of Asia and Africa away from the rivalry of the two superpowers and preserve their newly acquired national independence. Association of Southeast Asian Nations, an example of state regionalism that was established in order to boost the economies of the members' countries. Its purpose is to accelerate economic growth, social progress, and cultural development in the region through joint endeavors, in the spirit of equality and partnership in order to strengthen the foundation of prosperous and peaceful community of Southeast Asian nations.